In this video, I want to tell you about a woman whose doctor said she'd never improve. 3 months later, her GFR jumped from 42 to 69. Her secret? The 7 simple hacks I'm about to share with you. If you're struggling with kidney disease and it feels like the end, please, stop right there. This isn't your ending. It's the beginning of your comeback story, the one you'll be proud to tell one day. Because here's what no one tells you, not even most doctors: sometimes it doesn't take a full life overhaul or thousands in treatments to turn things around. Sometimes, it's just a few precise, science-backed shifts. That's exactly what happened with one of my patients. She left me this message: 2 years ago, my kidneys started declining because of the blood pressure meds I was on. I didn't even know that could happen. My GFR dropped to 42. I remember sitting in my car after that appointment, crying. My doctor told me things probably wouldn't improve. And honestly, that breaks my heart. Doctors giving up on stage 3 patients, that's not just wrong, it's tragic. When she finally reached out to me, she said something I'll never forget: for the first time, I felt seen. I walked away with something I hadn't felt in years: hope. And she didn't stop there. She followed the plan, stayed consistent, and 3 months later, her GFR climbed from 42 to 69. That's not a coincidence. That's strategy. So today, I'm going to walk you through the exact 7 interventions that helped her make that transformation. They're small, but their impact can be life-changing. Let's start with number 7, the morning ritual that helped her replace her blood pressure medication naturally. What I recommended to her was something I believe to be one of nature's most powerful healing foods: garlic. But not just any garlic, and not just any way. There's a very specific morning ritual behind it, and it works best before breakfast, on an empty stomach. You see, there's real science behind this. A meta-analysis of 553 patients showed that garlic supplements alone reduced blood pressure by up to 8.3 over 5.5 millimeters of mercury. That's the equivalent of 1 medication gone. But here's the secret most people don't know: fresh, real garlic, when prepared the right way, is far more powerful than any supplement. And this is where almost everyone gets it wrong. The magic compound you're looking for, allicin, doesn't actually exist in garlic until you create it. Inside every clove, there are 2 separate compounds, alliin and alliinase. They live in different compartments, never touching, until you crush the garlic. When you do, they finally meet, and together, they form allicin, the active ingredient that protects your kidneys and lowers your blood pressure naturally. So here's what to do: peel and finely mince 5 to 10 cloves of medium garlic. Then, and this part is crucial, let it sit for at least 10 minutes before using it. That waiting time is what unlocks the allicin. Skip it, or cook it too soon, and you lose almost all of garlic's healing power. You'll see my full recipe on screen right now. Now, don't worry, I'm not asking you to eat 10 cloves a day. That's simply the amount you'll prepare to last 1 to 2 weeks, depending on the results you want. Garlic is also beautifully antimicrobial, so you can store your mixture in the fridge for up to 2 weeks. Just remember, the longer it sits, the stronger the flavor becomes. In my version of the recipe, I've added 2 gentle ingredients that help reduce garlic's side effects. Please don't skip them. And when you try this morning ritual, promise me one thing: track your blood pressure. You're going to want to see those numbers drop. And when they do, let me know. I can't wait to celebrate that moment with you. Up next, number 6, let's talk about the simple cooking hack that helped my patient reverse her anemia, using something straight out of medieval times. I'm talking about the cast iron skillet. Now, Don't roll your eyes just yet. This isn't just cookware, it's what I like to call a hidden medical device disguised as a kitchen tool. Because when you cook with acidic ingredients like lemon or vinegar, this humble pan releases tiny amounts of bioavailable iron into your food. And science actually backs this up. One clinical study showed that simply switching to cast iron cookware improved participants' iron levels and even boosted their hemoglobin. That means your grandma's old skillet wasn't just tradition, it was therapy. But here's something most people don't realize: the kind of metal that seeps into your food matters a lot. If you're cooking with aluminum pans, some of that aluminum gets into your food, and for kidney patients, that can be toxic. Please, never use aluminum cookware if you have CKD. But when you cook with cast iron, the metal that transfers into your meal is iron, one of the most common deficiencies in people with kidney disease. In my patient's case, simply changing her pan was enough to stop her anemia from getting worse. Unfortunately, not everyone is that lucky. Most doctors aren't trained to act when they see a patient's hemoglobin slowly dropping. My patient's numbers had been falling for years, yet no one checked her iron levels. And that's heartbreaking, because anemia in CKD patients isn't always caused by kidney disease. Especially in women, iron deficiency is extremely common. So when doctors choose to monitor instead of intervene, it often means just waiting for things to get worse. If you're a healthcare professional watching this, here's my humble plea: check your patient's labs carefully. If hemoglobin is low, look deeper into their CBC. Anemia of kidney disease is supposed to be normocytic and normochromic, but if it's microcytic or macrocytic, or if the RDW is elevated, that's your clue. It could be a simple iron, B12, or folate deficiency, all fixable. Because sometimes, saving a patient from kidney failure doesn't take a miracle. It just takes a little awareness and maybe an iron skillet. Now, since we're talking about nutrients, let's move to number 5, the 2 vitamins every plant-based kidney warrior must supplement. If you've cut out animal products, please listen closely. You'll need to replace 2 essentials: vitamin B12 and vitamin D. B12 is the spark plug for your energy and your red blood cells. Without it, fatigue sets in, your blood count drops, and anemia creeps in. And here's the truth: no plant-based food contains enough B12. You must supplement it every single day. Then there's vitamin D, your body's internal repair signal. It supports your bones, immune system, calcium metabolism, inflammation, even blood pressure. But getting enough is tough. Most people are low, and chronic deficiency often signals ongoing kidney damage. So, here's my rule: B12, supplement daily, any standard brand will do. Vitamin D, be cautious, take only small doses and always test your levels before increasing it. Because going plant-based is one of the smartest moves you can make for your kidneys. But forgetting B12 and D? That's not healing, that's slow self-sabotage. And I know this can feel overwhelming, especially if you've been newly diagnosed. There's so much information, and it's hard to know where to start. Alright, my friends, let's move on to the next kidney-saving diet hack. Number 4, the diabetes lie that's quietly destroying your kidneys. If you're living with diabetes, take a deep breath, because what I'm about to tell you might completely change the way you see your food, your body, and your healing journey. Here's the big lie: you've been told to fear carbs, to treat every grain of rice, every slice of fruit like poison. And if you spend enough time online, you'd think that one tiny spike in blood sugar is a straight path to dialysis. But that's not how the human body works. You don't need to obsess over carbs. You just need to understand calories. And those two things are not the same. Let me show you something incredible. A clinical study took 36 diabetes patients and didn't cut out their carbs. In fact, their meals were full of maltodextrin, a processed carb that behaves almost like pure sugar in your body. Now, according to most internet experts, giving maltodextrin to someone with diabetes would be a disaster. But do you know what happened? By simply reducing total calories, 16 of those 36 people achieved full diabetes remission. Their diabetes literally disappeared even while eating sugar-like carbs. How? It's just simple biology. When you create a calorie deficit, your body starts to heal from the inside. Insulin sensitivity improves, liver fat decreases, and blood sugar control returns naturally. So, the truth is this: you can reverse diabetes without cutting out healthy carbs as long as you're maintaining a calorie deficit. And this is such good news for anyone with kidney concerns. Because your kidneys need the protective antioxidants and fiber from fruits and vegetables. Cutting them out only makes things worse. So please, don't fall for the no-carb fear trap. If your goal is diabetes remission, stop counting carbs and start counting calories. That's the only proven, kidney-safe way to lose weight, balance your blood sugar, and protect your kidneys for life. Okay, let's move on. Number 3, let's talk about the boogeyman hiding in your salad. Yes, I'm talking about oxalates. You've probably heard it before: don't eat spinach, don't touch beets, avoid nuts and legumes, they'll give you kidney stones. So, in fear, you cut out some of the healthiest foods on the planet, hoping to protect your kidneys. But here's the truth: that fear is misplaced. Because the majority of oxalate in your body doesn't actually come from food, your body makes it. So even if you avoid every spinach leaf and rhubarb stalk in sight, you could still have kidney stones, simply because your own metabolism is producing oxalate internally. So what do? You fight back, not with fear, but with strategy. Here are the steps that really make a difference. First, never let yourself get dehydrated. Carry a bottle of water with you everywhere. Sip regularly. Stones can't form when your urine is well-diluted. Water is your first line of defense. Second, pair your meals with calcium-rich foods. Think kale, broccoli, okra, bok choy. These bind oxalate in your gut before it ever reaches your kidneys. Don't let anyone tell you greens are bad for you, they're your allies. And third, use lemon generously. The citrate in citrus fruits binds the very minerals that form stones. A little lemon water, a squeeze over your salad, it all adds up. So yes, water, calcium, and lemon. 3 humble tools that can save you from kidney stones. Now, number 2, let's talk about the real villain in your food. We've covered the fake one. Here comes the one that truly deserves your fear: phosphorus. When your kidneys are weak, they can't filter phosphorus properly. It builds up in your blood, and when it does, it's pure poison, hardening arteries, weakening bones, and pushing you faster toward dialysis. And the worst part? It's hidden everywhere. In meat, dairy, fish, and especially in processed foods, where it appears as phosphate additives. Let me tell you, the other week, I was in the store and saw that my favorite bread suddenly had phosphates added. I almost had a meltdown right there in the aisle. This stuff is sneaky and dangerous. If you have kidney disease, make it a habit to read every label. If a food has phosphate anywhere on the ingredient list, it's not food anymore. It's poison. And if your favorite brand starts adding phosphates, it's no longer your favorite brand. Simple as that. And now, we've arrived at the big one. Number 1, the master key to your kidney comeback. It's not about what you eat. It's about how you change. Because here's the truth, all the garlic, skillets, vitamins, and superfoods in the world won't help if you try to change everything overnight. Healing isn't a sprint. It's a slow, steady walk one step at a time. When I tell patients to swap steak for kale, they look at me like I've lost my mind. It feels impossible, like climbing Mount Everest in flip-flops. But here's the secret, you don't have to do it all at once. This week, change one thing. Just one. Next week, change another. Trying to overhaul your life in a single day will only leave you exhausted and frustrated. But small, consistent steps? That's where the magic happens. That's how my patient went from a GFR of 42 to 69. Not because she transformed overnight, but because she kept showing up for herself, one small smart choice at a time. Consistency will always beat intensity. And your comeback story? It starts the same way, not with a giant leap, but with a quiet, deliberate step forward. Thank you for watching, my friend. May God bless you on your healing journey. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.